Hello, everyone. This is the Thinker, aka Scotty, and I'd like to welcome you to the show today. Now, I'm going to talk about disease. Now, the medical system, how it's broken. Now, they don't tell the truth about how to reverse and cure things. But if you want an enlightening realization on something, if you go into Google and type in drjohnbergman.com, so pretty much type John Bergman, it'll bring you a website that shows all the diseases and how to actually fix them. It actually tells type 1 diabetes, type 2, every pretty much disease that there's been, it's curable or reversible. And on YouTube, Dr. John Bergman has YouTube videos about diabetes and how to reverse it and how it's actually cured, it can be reversed. And there's one good there's actually a video when you go into type 2 diabetes on the drjohnbergman.com. If you go into diseases and you type in type 2, there should be a video at the very bottom, raw food diet, and it will show the people going 3 days on a raw food vegetable diet, and their sugar levels, they have medication, their sugar levels re-regulate. It actually even shows it. It's very enlightening. You guys should see it. Because there was a guy that was supposed to have type 1, and he completely reversed it. This guy had, at the beginning of the video, this guy had of 1,200, and the doctor's like, well, you shouldn't even be alive. Like, yeah, well, if you're still alive at 1,200, it means your fucking body's doing something to fix it. And the insulin thing they gave you blood medication, like the sugar levels, it doesn't actually fix the sugar levels. It will mess with the glucose, but the sugars will remain high. So it'll be high regardless. So there's really no point in taking the drugs. They're only got to kill you quicker. Blood pressure medications, you'll actually die quicker, and you get a higher chance of dying from it. So I mean, the medical system is good. They can't tell the truth. See, the money, in truth, if everyone agrees with me, the money for the system is made in drugs and keeping people sick. The people could heal. The reason why people are sick, there's one of the persons about it. Doing the research, do some research and videos on Max Gerson, the Gerson plan, Charlotte Gerson, the Gerson plan. They all say the same things. Let food be thy medicine, medicine be thy food. Toxic chemicals and deficiency is why we are sick. Type 2 diabetes is a toxic problem. If your body is toxic to the point, your body's not going to be able to regulate itself. Your body's suffering with the chemical foods. The standard, or SAD, as in standard American diet, is so bad that they tell people that should eat dietary sugar. See, here's the thing. I've done research on this too. See, dietary sugar is actually worse for you if you're having sugar problems, because it actually is toxic because it's artificial. It is also bad for you because of what they use. Sucralose is so bad for you that it could probably kill you. I mean, here's an example. Like, I've eaten organic food for so long that when I tried to drink, I drink one of those amps. They get them from Hannaford, and they're supposed to have regular sugar. It's supposed to be all natural. I drank one of those, the artificial sugar. My insides felt they were liquidating. It was fucking painful. My brother did too, because he eats the same organic stuff I do. Me, I was thinking maybe I should go. Arizona is where this place is, but I'd love to go down to Arizona just to test out this raw food diet. Because if it works, I'm definitely gonna have to come back and tell everyone about it, about how it went. Because I gotta say, if I can heal my problem completely, and that's the way to heal myself, even if it means I can't eat any more chemical foods ever again, I'd be willing to do that. Even if it gives me more energy, vitality, as well as better healing for myself, inside and out, I'd do it. Because I don't know, my sugar was about 400, 500. This guy was 1,200. My sugar, I was fine though. I was doing fine because an adaptation. If you look down John Bergman, it's like an adaptation for the situation your body's in toxic state. When they gave me insulin at the hospital, it affected me so badly when I took it that it caused itching, irritation on my body. It caused me to almost regurgitate whatever I ate. when I took it, it spit up my heart. It started to really hurt, like I was having a heart attack. And then I was laying on my bed like almost all the night, like all last night, with pain in my chest while it was speeding up, like I was going to die. So it was kind of like a realization, kind of like I had like an out of body, like one of those near death experiences, like I was going to die, but I realized the system's so broken that the only way I can fix the problem is by saying something about it, because the system is not gonna listen until someone else states it or whatever. What you guys should do is tell people about these videos and tell as many people as you can, because the more people you tell about these things and test them for yourself, like I'll test it for myself, but just to make sure, you guys should test it for yourselves to prove it to yourself as well, because if it does work for you, then that means the medical system has lied to their fucking teeth about everything. That means that cancer is fucking reversible. If cancer is curable and reversible through that diet, and it is the diet, an organic raw diet is the way to go, then all the money you guys have paid to the cure for cancer shit, all the millions of dollars you guys spent, you should be pissed off, because if it's true and they're lying to you, you should be pissed off and furious. Because I'm super pissed. Because my grandmother died of old age, and she died suffering from breast cancer. So I know that feeling. Plus, I know how badly brain cancer is. I actually had a close person to me, like a close secondary extended family member. That was like my second or third extended family member, like another mother I never had. And she died in 2012. Her name was Lisa Graves, and I knew her son. And she died from brain cancer, which I never knew she had. She was like 40 when she died. And when it happened, it broke my very existence. It broke everything I thought that was there. I mean, my very existence just toppled. There was nothing I could do. When you lose someone that close to you from one of those, your realization on life it changes. It's kind of like if you're in the military and you have to shoot someone, and then you're never the same. But then you try to integrate back into society. You can't do it, because the constant images of the situation you're in and the war is preventing you from moving forward, because the trauma is so bad. Well, they should. I mean, I kind of have like more kind of like that too. Like when I was a kid, my cat died. His name was Fluffy. He was a coon cat, really nice coon cat. When I was 10, he was killed by a fisher, and I heard a noise outside. A fisher cat. If you ever heard a fisher cat, it makes that screaming sound like some lady's being murdered by a knife or some weapon. When I saw that, or heard that sound, then I heard that, and then a second later, I heard this crying sound, screeching, crying, meowing sound, and I strongly believe it was my cat getting ripped to shreds. I think this is why my consciousness of life has changed. As well as after my cat was killed, I shut down for years. I felt no emotions. I felt nothing for anybody. My whole emotion just shut off. The shock was so high that I just shut down for years. Then years later, even more so, my grandparents were like 80 and they were dying. My grandmother they're both like 80 or so. But it's my grandmother that it broke my heart watching my grandmother. Because I can still remember the vivid images, kind of like military remember their battles. It's the same for me. But I know how they feel about having vivid images and reminding themselves remembering about the events. I know how that feels. I may be in a civilian type of scenario, but it's pretty much the same exact thing. The only difference is, you have to watch more in a horrific kind of more traumatic mode, because a friend of yours life is taken. That's one of your friends or comrades or allies, or best friends. So you kind of can't do it anymore. Just kind of like you just fall apart. Kind of like when I watched my grandmother slowly dying from breast cancer and dying of old age, and she was walking slowly past the counter, and I could just slowly feel her energy just leaving. I could just feel feel how much she was in pain, how she was suffering, and it was just very painful to watch. And I felt no emotions at the time because I told you I shut off from my when my cat passed. Um, when my cat passed, when my cat passed, um, I felt nothing. But like when my grandparents were dying, I felt nothing until my grandmother started to die. And for some reason, I sensed some kind of energy or her soul or something leave her body. But I was kind of just sitting there, not feeling any pain or emotions. Like they're just like there existent any longer. Then in the past, I felt something. I started to open up more again. I kind of I didn't realize it until after how much I should have said how much I loved her, and I regret that every day. Um, I loved her with all my heart though, so much that it broke my very heart watching. Then I had to watch my grandfather slowly freak out because his spouse, or I guess you would call it a spouse. No, actually, it was more. I guess it was more like partner passed, and then he stressed out. And by stress, he quickened his death, stressed himself more, and killed himself quicker. Then when he died on the bed, he died. I'm like, I'm like, hey, Alpa, it's not funny. Wake up. And then all I could feel was extreme pain. Like the greatest pain you could ever feel. And it won't go away. It's like an image that never goes away. There's a reason why I don't get connected to people. I avoid it at all times. I avoid everyone. I don't. I know it's balance, but I'm someone who's not really used to like death around me. Like maybe if I was in war, I wouldn't mind because it wouldn't bother me too much because it happened so much that I really wouldn't care anymore because it just shut down. It sucks more because I love my grandparents very really dearly. As well as my as long as Lisa I was talking about. She was a really lovely person. If I could have transferred some of my life force, even if it can't mine, I would have done it. I would rather trade my life force for hers and let her survive so she can see her son grow up and have kids than me waste my life and people title me and then me eventually just have nothing to do in life. So, I mean, this is my other side. Like the happy side you see on my video, Love All Things, that's my loving side. This is my sad side. But I've been on medication so long that it shut off my emotions for years, and I couldn't feel anything. I've been on medication most of my life because I was mistitled with things. And it's so painful though because even if I try, no one listens to me. I tell people to research, they don't listen to me. I tell them I've been in time limit, nobody listens to me. I try speaking truth, nobody listens to me. I try improving in life, no one listens to me. So in reality, it's like no one really cares about what I do. And they just keep on thinking that putting medication is going to work. Well, I'm going to say now, though, to everyone is one day they're going to do that too much, and it's going to cause me to do something drastic that I never wanted to do. So I got off medications for a bunch of reasons. One of them was toxicating my body. Two was making me not be able to think, figure things out. Third it would lower my IQ. And fourth, I always had a concern that it might actually cause me to go and do a shooting or something. I'd rather not have that happen. And I'm a nice person. But people gotta understand, those drugs, the pharmaceutical drugs, can cause aggression. And I don't want to end up like that. People understand that if I had to do something like that, I have no other choice. My very existence would crumble. Because if I actually took somebody's life, ever, my life would just cease to exist. I could never look at another human being as long as I live. Even if I died and came back, I couldn't look at another human again. I couldn't even stare at their face. I just couldn't do it. But I'm not crazy. I'm just concerned. Have you guys ever thought of maybe the school shootings are caused by people on medications? Like those other school shootings by that guy, the shooters. How do you know the shooters weren't on medications that caused aggression? Antipsychotic that cause extra aggression. How do you know that the government is not mind controlling them? Because they've had mind control abilities against people since like the fucking 40s. So I mean, even earlier. I mean, how do you know that? I mean, how do you know that anyone's crazy? I mean, in reality, mental illness is not proven by any facts. They're proven by theories. There's like that video I talked about last time on other videos. Madness of the truth about psychiatry. The madness. I think it's called Madness of the World. I could be wrong though. But it's cool. I don't know. I think it's not that it's not that I'd ever hurt anyone. I'm very kind. I only do that if it was the last resort. If I had no other choice and I had nothing else to live for. But I tried to make people learn this, because when you're living a time loop, you know what's going to happen. So you try to prevent it, but no one listens to you because they're not in the same reality. And like the Mandela effect too. It doesn't. No one believes you. There's one guy. I got a guy on here. That's my first people to see one of my videos. You should check him out. His name. I believe the name of his video, or at least the title of is JW, capital J, capital W, and you should watch some of his videos about time loops and stuff. And when I talk about time loops and my thing about me repeating stuff, he'll say the exact same thing about his experience. We're pretty much linked. So I mean, what I'm saying is, when I've been through a time loop, I've reset this. I've been through this whole year or so about 10 times so far. This is the 10th time. 9 times before. This is the 10th time doing it. And I've been telling people to just leave things alone, let them pass, let me do what I need to do so I can move forwards. And then some people come in here and they're like, "Well, you're still time." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not dead." "Well, you gotta hurt your body." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, it's a possibility." Kind of like, so it's interesting. You come in here and they're like, "Well, you're confused." I'm like, what? In my head, I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck are they talking about?" I'm like, I'm concerned. I'm not confused. I know the fuck's going on. And then they say the psychiatrist that's got her fucking degree out of a goddamn Cracker Jack box. And hell, don't go to a psychiatrist. They can't help you. They'll just tell you lies and not tell you the truth. Besides, they have to be insane to actually be a fucking psychiatrist. It's true. They're fucking insane. I had a psychiatrist named Dr. Myers. Oh my god. My father told me to tell her that she got a fucking degree out of a Cracker Jack box. After he said that, I was literally going to get a Cracker Jack box. I was going to find a real degree online for some money for an actual real doctorate like degree for psychiatry. I was going to put it in the box, seal it up, and give it to her. And I was going to be like, "Here's proof that you got your degree out of a Cracker Jack box." See, the problem with our society is we're disconnected from everything. We're disconnected from nature. We're disconnected from our higher selves. We're disconnected from our families. We're disconnected from reality. We're disconnected from the love in our hearts. We're disconnected from our original origin of our creation. We're separated from the truth about everything else. Like the maps, the world maps are wrong. I mean, the poles are wrong. I mean, everything they've taught you is a lie. I mean, I even watched the history of a documentary on YouTube called "The Greatest Hitler: The Greatest Story Never Told." It's like 6 hours long or so, 6 hours and 30 minutes. Oh my god! If you watch that, your whole mindset will change about the whole thing he did. You have to see a video about even Gaddafi, about the truth of Gaddafi, if only the Western world knew. That's a good documentary. But the truth of why Gaddafi was attacked. Saddam, the Saddam one is pretty interesting too. Because, yeah. And also, everyone's being predicted. Everyone's receiving predictive programming. You see shows that talk about a certain event and it happens like a couple weeks later. It's based on something. It may not be coincidence. I think it actually may be based on actual facts. Like 9/11. 9/11 was definitely an inside job because I saw evidence of videos that show that there were 2 unmarked vans there a couple hours before it opened doing something. And that's pretty sketchy there. Then they left a couple hours later, which is kind of sketchy. So they could have easily put the bombs into the towers. Because if they were there before it started, they could have had enough time to actually get there and put the bombs in there and set them. Also, 9/11 has been hinted since at least 1940. There is a Porky Pig commercial. There's Porky Pig and I believe a wolf, a black wolf. And the wolf's like, oh, the towers are falling. In the 40s, they talked about the World Trade Center getting hit. In the 40s. Then in the 1990s, here's another hint. Another bunch of hints. The movie Terminator 2 Judgment Day. On the concrete barrier on the bridge they go through. It says 9. And then you look at The Matrix. The Matrix says 9/11. Right on the card, you look at the very first Matrix movie. You pay attention to the screen. Very beginning, you'll see a card. If you look and pause it quickly, right time, you'll see it. It says 9/11. Another movie was talking about there being an attack on the Pentagon, as well as another one saying they were going to hit the towers. I mean, they were going to cause a lot of people to die, but they couldn't fake it, so they had to make it real. See, and another example, like you got to understand that the reason we went into World War, I hate to say this, but the reason we went into World War II is because the powers that be, pissed off Japan, which caused them to attack us. If we would have left them alone to let them fight fucking China like they were trying to do, here, the reason why China attacked us, I mean, Japan attacked, I'm sorry. I reversed it, sorry. Here. The reason why Japan really attacked us was because we put an embargo act on their supplies, and they were they were currently at war with China. By interfering with their war with China, we interfered with their affairs. Therefore, as a result, they bombed us. So we have no one to blame but ourselves. Well, actually, you can blame the president. You can blame all the politicians because it's all their fucking fault because they don't do shit. They never fucking do shit. Now, how did they ever will? They don't care. They don't give a shit. They never will. They never will. They don't care about life. They never will. It'll never happen. If you think so, you're living a dream world, my friends. And watch the videos about a simulation we're in. Imagine if we're actually in a simulation or a matrix, like the movie The Matrix. What if the Matrix movie is actually based on fact? What if we're actually living in a simulation, matrix type scenario where everything's changing and we don't know we're actually there? But I don't know, this guy said that it makes sense. This guy was talking about it. I think I have the video saved. I'll find it later. It seems that for some reason, people that are awake and know what's going on, like me and other people, For some reason, we're getting really smart. But it seems like when this guy says, it seems like everyone else is getting dumber for some reason. I've noticed that. But I've noticed off medications and not just being around certain people that maybe the system is broken and maybe we're lying to ourselves about how it works. I mean, I think everyone, if you have children, at least if you want to, keep them off chemical drugs of any type. Immunization, anything that's chemically harmed. Do research on it. Eliminate it. See which one makes sense. See which doesn't make sense. Like do that. That helps. But don't poison your children. The children of the future. If you poison them and kill their IQ, they're never going to be able to change anything. See, the two smartest people that I know of on the planet at the time I was research on was Nikola Tesla and Einstein. Those motherfuckers are geniuses. If you find people like that, and there's one other guy that's not Tesla, he's Tesla 2.0, he's on YouTube. He's pretty cool. Dr. Steve Greer is another good guy, and Phil Snyder. Those are good guys that see information about too. Those two guys. But the problem is it's the system that doesn't realize it's wrong, and that will actually be the downfall of the system. The system is going to destroy itself from within. And I gotta say, if it ever happens and I'm still alive, I think I'll have a nice relaxing ride. Just sit out on the lawn, grab some popcorn, grab a soda, grab a candy bar, just sit down and watch. Why not? But I gotta say though, besides that fucking diet though, that diet looks really delicious though. Burger looks really good. But
Hi.
But you also gotta understand that the system is so broken you can't fix it, and don't bother trying to fix the system.
Hi, are you from NHS?
I am.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm one of the nurses here.
Hi.
Are you just coming to kind of hang?
Betsy. Yeah. I
Oh, and
Okay.
Hi.
Okay.
I came in yesterday.
Great.
But it looks
Scott.
like he's busy.
Is it okay to have a visitor for a little bit?
yeah, she can come in.
Okay.
Oh,
There you go.
thanks.
Well, I gotta tell you people something though. What you need to do is research, cross-examine. If you have kids, question everything. Question everything. Authority, law enforcement, government, everything. Do not believe automatically the media. The media lies. It's owned by about, let me see, I would say 4 or 5 rich elite people, and they're not 95% of all the media, and they're not gonna fucking tell you the truth. They'd rather fucking have you suffer and turn you into cattle and kill you. They don't give a shit about
Murdoch.
Hmm?
Rupert Murdoch. He owns Fox News.
you. Yeah, and Fox News lies through their teeth. Any media that says that something's happening, they're lying about it. What else you got to do, guys, is look up and watch that documentary about the 30-day Raw. Is the greatest documentary ever. And the Dr. John McGregor stuff. If it works for you guys, then send me messages or so, or send it out to other people and let them know about it. Because at least if they do that, the system can heal. The first step in a sick system is to fix and cure it. The only way people can cure is through a diet that is not consumed through toxic chemicals. Like I said, I'm going to try it out because I want to test that theory out, because I love testing theories, because having a creative genius mind is just really fun to do. But what you need to do, though, all of you need to focus is on helping people in the future and healing them. And do not give your kids immunizations until you research first. Because if you do, you're going to cause them major damage. And the problem is, when they're really young, their brain barrier is not strong enough and developed enough to handle that. If your brain barrier is fully functional, you can actually prevent and survive it, and it won't hurt you. But if it is the opposite, it will hurt you. But it's okay, my friends. Everything works out in the end, as long as people don't lie to you and try to say that you're wrong or there's something wrong with you. If they do say something's wrong with you, they're just upset because they have a defense mechanism against you because they hate themselves. Just remember that. People that have problems with other people have a defense mechanism because they hate everything about themselves and what everyone else does to help other people. Kind of like, just be careful though, because there are some people for some reason in the world that do not like love. Try to avoid those people at all costs. Because some people, when you tell them you love them, they freak out more. And they get more paranoid and annoyed. But I count paranoia more of just more concern, more than anything else. But if people knew more about their history, I think the world would probably be better. But I just have a problem with the system. I always have. But the system has always been a beautiful place for me, even though I'm not really from here. But in reality, I'm really not from here. Which explains why I can't stand being around certain people. It's like an empath, I think, is a person of a higher intelligence and spiritual growth that is here beyond their time, which no one can understand. And then when you try to explain to them about things, they can't comprehend it. It's what happens when human beings in this country are suffering from delusions of grandeur and delusions, things about like not understanding what someone's talking about because they're not in the same timeline as you are. So it's not a bad thing. It just means that we're all different. Everyone learns who they are eventually. So if people want to figure out themselves, you should probably go and do some researching on soul searches. A soul search is the best thing you can do. It's the best way to recover yourself and find your true self. But it's been a pleasure talking to you guys. And so now you kind of know how my mind kind of swaps back and forth from like kind of like positive and negative. But it's more of like, I guess, it's more of a light side, dark side thing. So it's more of like Darth Vader syndrome or Anakin syndrome, I guess. Like from Star Wars, like Anakin doesn't know if he wants to be on the light side or the dark. Yeah, it's kind of like me. I'm kind of that, or sometimes I'm neutral, all in between. I'm all the same, like neutral, light and dark. So I'm all in between. So I'm just kind of a little bit each. But it's been nice talking to you guys. Oh, and JW, I hope you get on later sometime or whenever, and we'll make another video. Freaking time. Okay, buddy. Well, you guys have a nice, wonderful day, and I wish you the best luck, longevity, infinite love, universal understanding, and I would say vitality. You guys all have a wonderful day, and be at peace always. Be positive, loving, and let no one else tell you otherwise. Because you'll always be a beautiful person, and no one can stop you from being that way. You just gotta find your own way. That's the whole point. The whole journey of life is the whole point of life is to mature over lifetimes and learn and get as much information as you can. So, namaste, my friends. Take care. Peace.